What up? Um, I go by Enoch or Quinn, um, or Quentin. Uh, Enoch 2 is kind of the letters of Quentin rearranged. And then I chopped off the 2 because Enoch sounds cool, like the Book of Enoch, Prophet Enoch, whatever. And then my second channel here, Enoch 2, yeah, you get it. I've made music under a lot of names, but I've finally decided Enoch as the one that felt the most like me, the one that I wanted to put forward as my main musical project. But also, I've been getting more into streaming. I've been wanting to be a YouTuber and make videos and do general content creation since I was like 10, 11. I mean, unfortunately, you can find videos on here from when I was like 14. There's some videos from even earlier than that when I was like 12, but thankfully I'm pretty sure I've scrubbed those from the internet, so. But I've wanted to keep going and quit a lot recently, for all kinds of things, but I guess that's why I'm making this video, because I don't think anyone really cares, and I think there are very few people that are gonna watch it. But for those of you that do watch it, thank you. You're the reason, shit like this is possible, and there's just a couple things I wanted to talk about, because, I've said before that even if nobody watches your videos, it's kind of like a video journal, video diary almost, and I really need to get back to journaling, but I think this might be a better way to do it, because I can go back and watch it later, but not to mention it contributes to what I'm trying to accomplish with streaming and content creation, and it invites people to make positive or negative comments, and it is what it is. My cat's meowing at me. Meow. So, let's start off with the big thing. Why the fuck am I wearing this? Well, this goes back to the fact that I came out publicly as non-binary or trans femme a couple days ago. I think it was literally yesterday. I'm not sure. The last couple days have been a haze. And I know a lot of you probably already know what that means, but I do live in the South, and a lot of people that I know and a lot of people they know that could end up here, they don't know what that means. So I'm just going to say real quick, being non-binary, I kind of don't identify with either gender. I don't feel like I'm a man or a woman. Now I say trans femme because I feel like if I did identify with either gender, I feel much more like I identify with being a woman. So, I've kind of said people can call me, I prefer they, them pronouns, but people can say she or her or whatever. People can call me ma'am, that doesn't bother me. People do from, like, behind, they think I'm a woman, and, sometimes with my voice, which right now is much lower just because I'm trying to whisper, but I have been trying to do voice training both for singing and because I would prefer a more feminine voice. It's a weird in between because I mostly identify with being non-binary. I mostly identify with being separate from gender as a concept, but I say trans femme because I would prefer to present myself in a more feminine way. I wish my voice was a little higher, body hair kind of bothers me sometimes, and I would rather be perceived as neither, but if I'm going to be perceived as something, I would rather it be a woman. And so I shaved my beard hair because I was like, fuck it. I'm public about this stuff now. I can do that, and I can try to, I thought with my long hair and it would help my appearance, but I am obviously overweight. Haha, there's no hiding that. You see that right now. And seeing my face without the beard, seeing the way my face is shaped, seeing the weight in my face, which it hit me really hard because I probably haven't shaved my beard in years, and I think I'm gonna grow it back for now. Maybe try to focus in on that androgynous vibe until I can lose some weight. Maybe then I can skew more feminine. But um, it's bothered me a lot, honestly. I've taken probably more of my lorazepam than I'm supposed to, just to be asleep, to not think about this shit. I'm struggling to look in the mirror. This was like a, what was it called, like a baklava, and that I cut the top off of to make like a mask with a, because I just couldn't stand seeing this or having anyone else see this. It's really bothering me, and trigger warning, but I've dealt with self harm a lot in the past, and I haven't done it in a while, but every time I see my face, it makes me want to. But I'm on Victoza, which for those of you who don't know, it's actually meant for people who have diabetes. I don't have diabetes, thankfully. I'm not diabetic. I am pre-diabetic. But there's time to reverse it. But it can also be used for weight loss. So basically, I have a shot that I take in my stomach every day. And then I have to also eat better. So I used to eat a lot of fast food. I used to eat a lot of, I mean, honestly, I still eat ramen like all the time because it's super cheap. But I'm trying to eat more like eggs and like oatmeal and stuff like that. It's very healthy. And then I do have a gym I can go to, thankfully. So I got to get on that because I I wanted to lose weight anyway, but I tried to tell myself that I needed to accept myself as I am, especially with these gender issues, I guess, this gender dysphoria. But this was just too much, and I mean, if nothing else, I'm way more motivated to lose weight. And I've got comments on my stuff calling me fat and shit, and people telling me to stop gaming and go to the gym, as if I can't have a life, as if I can't do both in a day. Fucking stupid ass people. It pisses me off, but whatever. I also don't have a job right now. I was in the hospital in October. I had cellulitis, which can be serious, but thankfully my body responded well to the antibiotics. But I mean, it sucked. I was at home for like I was in the hospital for a couple days. I was at home for like a week. I had a nurse have to come in the mornings and like she had to like check on my wound, and I had to take these like basically it's a thing. It's like a long toothpick and like wrap the silver padding around it and push it into the hole in my leg. It was some very like painful shit. And thankfully, I'm in a place where, with the other people who live with me financially, it's not like I'm gonna be homeless, but we definitely have less income without me working. And even though everyone around me, thankfully, is such a nice and generous and caring person, there's still like huge amounts of guilt. And that's part of why I've been going so hard with streaming. Because I mean, music has always been my number one passion. I've made more albums that I can count, more mixtapes that I can count, whatever. And I'm always going to make music. Don't get me wrong. I'm never going to quit making music. But I know that it's very rare that it's financially profitable. And with it being another thing I love, it's something I'm going to do no matter what. So I can just only hope that, like, don't get me wrong, I'm going to follow these creative ventures regardless, but I can just only hope that one of them pops off. Maybe I can get the monetization program on YouTube. Maybe I can get cultivate a community on Twitch. Maybe I can have my music pop off somehow, sell my beats, sell my records, make some merch, something, I don't know. But this is just kind of where I'm at right now and why I'm trying to go hard with this shit. And me like announcing what's going on with me and my new combined branding. Enoch is now everything. I used to separate my music and my streaming, and then in my music I had two different artist names with different genres, and no, none of that anymore. Enoch. I'm Enoch. It's all Enoch. So, if you're into weird, glitchy, ambient, insane fucking music, check out my music, Enoch. Check me out on Twitch. I usually stream between like midnight and like 5 a.m. EDT, EST, whatever. Check out my TikTok for clips and this channel for gaming stuff and other. I think I'm gonna kind of spread out too, not just gaming stuff. I'm gonna have some other bullshit on here too, but yeah, this is leading up to 2026, the new era of Enoch.